The memory of that dinner still burns even 5 years later. The way my mother's perfectly manicured fingers drummed against our mahogany dining table, her diamond rings catching the light as she delivered her verdict on my life choices. "A startup tech company?" she'd scoffed. "With your trust fund? Madison, darling, you'll never be anybody going down this path." I can still see my sister Catherine's smirk across the table, hear my father's heavy sigh of disappointment. The Hunter family name meant something in Boston's elite circles. It meant country clubs and charity galas, not coding in a garage with 2 college dropouts. "We're cutting off your trust fund," Dad had announced. "Maybe that will help you see reason." I'd looked around that opulent dining room at the faces of my family who measured worth in old money and social connections, and made a decision that would change everything. "Keep it," I'd said, standing up. "Keep all of it." That was the last time I'd eaten dinner in that house. The last time I'd touched my trust fund. The last time I'd been Madison Hunter, disappointing daughter, instead of who I am today. 5 years later, I sat in my penthouse office watching my company's stock ticker climb. Hunter Technologies had just revolutionized cybersecurity with an AI-driven platform that made every competitor obsolete. Major tech companies were scrambling to license our software. The IPO had made headlines. "Ms. Hunter." My assistant Julia's voice came through the intercom. "There's a situation you should be aware of." "Go on." "Your family is stranded at Logan International. Some sort of private aviation fuel shortage. All charter flights are grounded and commercial flights are booked solid due to the tech conference." I leaned back in my chair, a smile playing at my lips. The tech conference, my tech conference where I was scheduled to deliver the keynote speech tomorrow in Silicon Valley. "They're trying to reach you," Julia continued. "Your sisters called 6 times. Of course they were. The annual Hunter Family Foundation Gala was tomorrow night in San Francisco. The social event of the season. They couldn't possibly miss it. Their reputation would never recover. My phone buzzed with a text from Catherine. "Maddie, please. We know you have a private jet. We need to get to SF. Family emergency." The emergency being their social standing, no doubt. I pulled up the tracking app for my Gulfstream G650. The jet I'd bought not for luxury but because time was money in tech and I needed to be anywhere in the world at a moment's notice. The jet that was, at this very moment, fueled and ready at my private hangar. Another text from Mom. "Madison, darling, surely we can put the past behind us. The gala is crucial for the family name." I thought about that dinner 5 years ago. About the trust fund I'd walked away from. About the nights I'd spent sleeping on an office floor while coding, surviving on ramen and determination. About the investors who'd believed in me when my own family wouldn't. "Julia," I called through the intercom. "Send a car to my hangar. I'll be flying to San Francisco early." "And your family?" I typed out a response to my mother's text. "No bodies don't own planes." Then I gathered my things, including my keynote speech, the one announcing Hunter Technologies' newest innovation, a breakthrough that would double our already soaring stock price. "Should I tell them you're refusing to help?" Julia asked. "No," I smiled, heading for the elevator. "Let them figure it out when they see my jet take off without them. Sometimes the best revenge isn't saying no. It's showing them exactly what they said no to." In the car to the hangar, I watched Boston's skyline slide past. Somewhere in that city, my family was probably still at the airport, watching their carefully curated social status crumble. Meanwhile, I had a speech to deliver, one that would cement my place in tech history. The irony wasn't lost on me. They'd called me a nobody for choosing tech over tradition. Now I was worth more than the entire Hunter family fortune combined. My phone buzzed again. "Dad, this time." "Madison, this is childish. We need that plane." I turned off my phone as we pulled up to my private hangar. The Gulfstream gleamed under the lights, my company's logo emblazoned on its tail. Sometimes being called a nobody is the best motivation to become somebody unforgettable. The Gulfstream climbed through the clouds, leaving Boston and my stranded family far behind. I smiled, thinking of them watching my jet take off, knowing exactly who was aboard. "Ms. Hunter," the pilot's voice came through the intercom, "your sister is trying to contact the tower. She's claiming there's been a mistake." "No mistake, James," I replied, sipping my champagne. "Just karma." My phone had exploded with notifications. Text messages, voicemails, even emails from extended family members I hadn't heard from in years. The Hunter family network was in full panic mode. I opened a particularly entertaining text from Catherine. Do you have any idea what you're doing? The governor will be at the gala. The senator's wife is counting on mom's donation announcement. Another from my cousin Elizabeth. Your mother is in tears. How could you be so cruel? I pulled up the video feed from 5 years ago, the one my startup co-founder had recorded secretly during our first major breakthrough. There I was, sleeping on a worn office couch, surrounded by empty coffee cups and code printouts. That same night, my family had been at the country club, telling everyone how I'd lost my way. My laptop pinged with a news alert. Hunter Technologies CEO to make groundbreaking announcement at Tech Summit. Below it, a society page headline. Hunter family expected to make record donation at annual gala. Will they show? The contrast made me laugh. Miss Hunter. Julia's voice came through my secure line. Your father's lawyer is threatening legal action over the jet. He claims it was purchased with family money. Send him the documentation, I replied. Every penny came from my first software patent, the one they said would never work. I opened my keynote presentation, refining the details. Tomorrow I would announce Hunter Technologies' new quantum encryption protocol, technology that would revolutionize digital security. Our stock would skyrocket, the tech world would be transformed, and my family would miss their precious gala. My phone rang, a number I didn't recognize. Against my better judgment, I answered. Madison. My mother's voice, tight with controlled fury. You've made your point. Whatever you want, board positions, public apologies, doubled inheritance, it's yours. Just send the jet back. I looked out the window at the sunset painting the clouds gold. You still don't get it, do you? I don't want anything from you. I never did. I just wanted you to believe in me. We were protecting you, she exploded. Tech startups fail every day. The Hunter name. We'll be just fine, I interrupted. In fact, after tomorrow it'll be better than ever. Just not the way you planned. I hung up as another news alert flashed. Hunter Technologies stock hits record high on speculation of new security protocol. Below it was a society column. Hunter family absence at gala raises questions. Sources say private aviation issues to blame. Sometimes success is the sweetest revenge. But making them watch that success from a crowded airport terminal? That's just the cherry on top. I settled back in my leather seat, watching the clouds pass beneath my private jet, the very symbol of success they'd said I'd never achieve. In less than 12 hours I would change the tech world forever. And somewhere in Boston my family was learning the hard way that sometimes the biggest somebody is the person you called a nobody. The jet turned west, carrying me toward my destiny while leaving their social catastrophe in my wake. Sometimes karma flies at 45,000 feet. The next morning I stood backstage at the Tech Summit watching the live feed from the Hunter family gala venue. Empty tables, confused caterers, and a lot of influential people wondering where their hosts were. My phone showed missed calls from every member of my family, but I was focused on something else. The Wall Street Journal headline that had just gone live. Hunter Technologies unveils revolutionary quantum encryption. Stock soars 300%. 5 minutes, Ms. Hunter, a stagehand called out. I straightened my designer suit, not the kind my mother would have chosen, but one that screamed successful tech suit. The conference hall was packed with industry leaders, investors, and media. Every major network was carrying this live. My phone buzzed one last time, a text from Catherine. They're calling it the Hunter family humiliation. Mom's social standing is ruined. Are you happy now? I stepped onto the stage to thunderous applause, thinking about happiness, about success, about redemption. Good morning, I began, my voice strong. 5 years ago someone told me I'd never be anybody. Today, I'm here to show you the future of digital security. The presentation was flawless. The technology revolutionary. When I finished, the standing ovation lasted 10 minutes. Backstage, Julia handed me a phone. Your father's watching CNBC. They're calling you the next Steve Jobs. He'd like to talk. I took the phone. Hello, Dad. Madison. His voice was different now, smaller, uncertain. We were wrong. Yes, I said simply. You were. The gala, our reputation, will survive. I cut him off. The Hunter name is stronger than ever, just not the way you planned. I hung up and looked at Julia. Send my jet to Boston. Really? She asked, surprised. Yes, I smiled. But take your time. Maybe do a maintenance check first. Sometimes being somebody means being the bigger person. Eventually. The next day's headlines told the whole story. Tech genius Madison Hunter revolutionizes cybersecurity. Hunter Technologies CEO becomes youngest self-made billionaire. Hunter family missing from own gala as daughter makes tech history. I kept a framed copy of my mother's text from that airport. Madison, darling, we need your jet. Below it, my reply. Nobodies don't own planes. Sometimes the best success story is the one nobody saw coming. Especially the ones who called you nobody in the first place. In my office overlooking Silicon Valley, I raised a glass to the view. To the nobody who became somebody. To the daughter who proved them all wrong. And to the private jet that taught my family the most expensive lesson of all. Never underestimate the person you call nobody. Because sometimes that nobody might just become the somebody you desperately need. A week later, I sat in my Silicon Valley office watching the financial news. Hunter Technologies stock had stabilized at 4 times its previous value. My net worth had crossed $12 billion, making me one of the youngest self-made billionaires in history. A soft knock on my door interrupted my thoughts. Julia entered, looking uncertain. Your mother and sister are in the lobby, she said. They flew commercial. I allowed myself a small smile. Send them up. Minutes later, they walked in, my mother's perfect composure slightly ruffled from flying economy, Catherine's designer outfit wrinkled from airport seating. Both looked uncomfortable in a way I'd never seen before. Madison, Mom began, then stopped. For the first time in my life, she seemed at a loss for words. The gala was rescheduled, Catherine blurted out. Everyone's talking about how the Hunter family produced a tech genius. Society pages are calling us visionaries for encouraging your unconventional path. I leaned back in my chair. How convenient. Darling, Mom tried again. We were wrong. So terribly wrong. When I saw you on that stage announcing your breakthrough, you weren't just somebody. You were extraordinary. Now you see it, I said quietly. 5 years too late. We want to make it right, Catherine added. Family should stick together. I stood and walked to the window, looking out at the empire I'd built. You know what I learned from being called a nobody? That true worth isn't in a trust fund or social standing. It's in believing in yourself when no one else does. Please, Mom whispered, give us a chance to be part of your life again. I turned back to them. On one condition. Anything, they said in unison. The Hunter Family Foundation, I said. I want to repurpose it. Instead of galas and social climbing, it will fund tech education for underprivileged kids. Kids who might be called nobody by people like us. Mom hesitated only a moment before nodding. Of course, it's your vision now. And one more thing, I added, pressing a button on my desk. Julia entered with 3 folders. What's this? Catherine asked. Your economy tickets back to Boston, I said, then smiled. Just kidding. It's the paperwork to establish the Hunter Innovation Scholarship. Because sometimes the next somebody is just waiting for a chance to prove the world wrong. They both teared up, and for the first time in 5 years I let them hug me. Later that evening, as my jet carried them back to Boston, yes, I relented, I added a new frame to my wall. Next to my mother's desperate text and my "nobodies don't own planes" response, I placed a new message.